Are you considering a move to Florida? This episode is absolutely for you. Stay tuned while we break down the top questions we get from people looking to move to Florida. Welcome back to Cheap Drinks and Real Estate. My name's Jason Kaufman with the Kaufman Home Group at Heron Real Estate.
And I'm Adam Pearsall, mortgage broker with AP Finity Mortgage.
And today we're breaking down the top questions that we get from clients moving into the area that want to get a better understanding of what it is to live in Florida and what to expect.
We get a lot of fun questions.
Yes, we do.
About Florida.
Yes, we do. And we only did the top 12 questions, but I could go over probably 100 of them.
Yeah.
So,
number one, what is the Florida man?
Number two, what is the best cheap drink? And we actually have one today. And a little disclaimer, because, I was just in Japan, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So these are a legendary drink in Japan.
Okay.
We have them in the United States. I went to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, and I saw them, buy one, get one. I haven't tried this flavor, so I had quite a few of them when I was in Japan. And they were cheap in Japan. They're a little bit more expensive here, but they were cheap in Japan. But let's dive right into the cheap drink first. Our cheap drink for the day is Suntory minus 196 zero sugar lemon vodka soda. Have you heard of these before?
Not at all. No. So this is a vodka seltzer.
It's a vodka seltzer.
What's the minus 196?
I don't know. It has something to do with the way that they make it. I don't know exactly what it is, but these are huge in Japan. They sell them out of vending machines on the street. It's the craziest thing.
So, it's got the Japanese lettering on it. So
Yep.
It's actually, this is like the actual one you drank in Japan and they sell it here.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Yep, but I haven't had this exact one. So I had some other ones. They typically have them in bigger cans. And I went with the 4%. They do have some that go up to 9% alcohol. I figured we don't need to get crazy.
Yeah.
And decided to go with the 4%. So these are zero sugar vodka seltzer, 4% alcohol. I got them at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. They are actually buy one, get one free right now. 4 packs for $9.99. So you get 8 of them for $10.
All right.
They do also sell 8 packs, but those aren't buy one, get one free right now. So I decided to go the cheap one.
Here you go. Real whole fruit, frozen and crushed at minus 196 degrees Celsius using a proprietary Japanese process, then infused with premium vodka and natural flavors to deliver ultimate refreshing taste.
There you go.
All right.
That's what the minus 196
That's
is.
what it is.
Cheers.
All right, let's try it. You guys stick around. We'll tell you what we think as we drink it throughout the episode. At the end, we'll give you a buy or don't buy, right?
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right.
All right. All right. Well, let's start off with the number 12 on our list, going down to the number 1 question. Number 12. Do I need a pool when I live in Florida?
Yes. On to number 11. No.
No, that kind of depends on where you're actually moving to. I mean, if you're living in a community, like I live in Nocatee,
Yeah.
I do have a pool, but living in Nocatee, I don't necessarily need a pool because we have like 8 pools within the community. Then we got the 2 water parks. So on any given day, I could go to a pool
Right.
with no issue. So do I need a pool in Nocatee? No. Is it nice to have? Yes.
Right.
Now you're in a different scenario because you live in Jack's Beach. So you're not in a community with a pool. So
Right.
I'll kind of put you on the hook here as far as
Yeah.
your
So,
thoughts.
yeah, living at the beach, all right, I'm just a couple of blocks off the beach. I'm not in a planned unit development, right? Or a PUD like you have here with community centers, community pools. Jack's Beach does a good job where we do have some pools that are available during the summer. Like they open like Fletcher High School's pool. And there's some spots that you can go if you want that option where you don't have to have a pool in your backyard. I'm getting ready to put a pool in my house though. I am going to have a pool put in. It's one of those things in Florida where you say it doesn't really matter. It does matter where you live in Florida, right? Whether you have community pools or not. Is it nice to have a pool in Florida?
Absolutely.
Yes. Is it hot here? Yes. So you like to have a pool. There's some other spots with that we want to hit on just real quick, right? Which is there's kind of the follow-up question that everybody says with a pool. Well, does it really increase your value? Is it worth it to spend $100,000 to put a pool in, or 70,000, whatever you can do.
And that's hit and miss, because if you're putting in like basic pool, hot tub type of thing, and you're spending 120 grand, yes, it's going to increase your value exponentially.
Yeah. It's
Um,
not dollar for dollar, I would say. It can be.
actually, right now, if you're going with a modest pool, it can be dollar for dollar.
Yeah.
So literally, I will have clients that will buy a house for $150,000 more, so that they don't have to, number one, deal with the hassle of putting in a pool, and number two, just be able to move into the house and be able to enjoy it.
Have a cheap drink.
Have a
Sit
cheap
by the
drink.
pool.
Sit by the pool. So
Yeah.
a lot of people want to enjoy that when they first move there. So a pool, is it necessary? No. Is it nice? Yes. On to number 11. And this is probably, I'm surprised I didn't put this higher on my list, because I get this question all the time. Are there alligators everywhere?
Depends on if you have a pool or not. The answer to that is yes. There are alligators.
There are
everywhere.
alligators. If you're moving from like Michigan, where you have a pond and you swim in the pond. I never really was a pond swimmer, but a lot of people that I know swim in ponds.
Or the lakes, the canals that are
lakes.
on the Great Lakes.
Yep.
Same thing, right?
You're not going to want to do a lot of that here. You're not going to want to jump into a pond, because if you have personally, I wouldn't. You might be different because
I grew up water
Florida
skiing
man.
and jet skiing and swimming in the creeks, man. I mean, there was alligators, and you go. They're not there to attack you. They're the swamp puppies, right? That's what we call them.
But I'm talking like in a pond.
No,
I'm not going to go into a pond, because more than likely the pond will have an alligator.
Well, most of them are like retention ponds. You wouldn't want to swim in them anyway.
That's very true.
But the natural waterways and all the canals that come off of, here in Jacksonville, right? We have the St. Johns River. We have the Intracoastal Waterway, where it's all brackish water, which is interesting.
Because you don't see a lot of alligators in there, but they are there.
Oh, yeah. And you can see them. The craziest thing with the brackish water, this is a little off topic, you can get bull sharks.
Yeah.
Halfway up the river, miles and miles, all the way to downtown Jacksonville. So is there wildlife and alligators everywhere? Look, if there's water in Florida, there's an alligator.
Yeah. And I mean, I go to the springs sometimes, and you'll be swimming with alligators there, but they're docile at that point because it's colder water. They aren't really actively hunting at that point. They're going up on the banks at that point, hunting there.
And alligators don't hunt people actively. I'm not going to say it's not happened where someone's gotten snatched by an alligator, but generally, look, don't never feed an alligator. If you're going to move here, don't feed them. That's the biggest mistake that you could possibly make, because then they become dependent on you. They think you're good, and then you could ultimately become that meal, I suppose. And
if it looks dicey, if it looks like a dicey area that is kind of marshy and like grassy and just like, don't do it. Don't do it.
But it's not something, we don't wake up every day like scared we're going to die by alligator, or even when we go swimming or whatever. It's like swimming at the beach.
But when I first moved here, that was a top thing in my mind. But then as you live here and you see how everything goes, it becomes far less than what I would have ever imagined. Going on to number 10. How bad are the bugs in Florida?
You answer that. I've been here a long time.
So living in Michigan, mosquitoes were horrible. And if I wish I had my mom on the show, because she could actually explain. She lives in the country, and she gets mosquitoes like that big. And they are not the male mosquitoes that don't bite. They're the actual ones that bite. They're huge. I don't get mosquitoes. I hardly get mosquitoes. The worst is probably the no-see-ums, but I don't really get a whole lot of that here. You might get it for like an hour in the morning and an hour at dusk. But then they kind of go away, and you can actually enjoy a nice
Some of that's
evening.
going to depend on where you live in Florida too.
Exactly.
Right? Like if you're in a super rural area, you're out in the middle of nowhere in the country, in the woods, you're going to have more bugs. In neighborhoods here like Nocatee, or the bigger areas, even like Jack's Beach, they actually treat for them, right? They drive around and spray for mosquitoes to control the population. So we do get some interesting bugs in Florida. The worst part are the gnats, I would say. It's not really even the mosquitoes. It's just the gnats once in a while, especially during the peak summer months. Right now, July, August, September, when it's the hottest here, that's when the gnats can be a little bit annoying.
And that's pretty much in the shade. If you're in the sun, they don't bother you.
Right.
But if you're like mowing your grass, and I've got like a straw hat that I'm mowing my grass with, and they're all underneath my hat. But I take that hat off, they're gone. So the gnats are bad. And then also what they call the palmetto bugs.
Yeah.
They're cockroaches.
Yeah. They're
They're
cockroaches that
cockroaches.
fly.
Yes. But you will see those. But again, if you treat your house, if you treat around the area, those won't be a bother either.
Yeah. No, it's not
So
like we're not overrun by bugs all the time
no.
or anything
So
like that.
bugs again. Me moving down here, I thought bugs were going to be insane. They've
Yeah.
been easier going than it was in Michigan.
Yeah. That's probably
So
one of the bigger misconceptions is the
yeah.
bugs. You know,
Yep.
thinking about that, it's not. It's just not that bad.
Yeah.
You know. So
So bugs. Number 9. How hot does it really get in Florida?
it doesn't get negative 196, but it does feel like it gets 196.
Yes, it does get hot in the summer. So, I mean, you'll have days like I run quite a bit. So I go for runs, and at 9 a.m., the heat index is like 103.
Yeah.
So it does get hot. You'll have those days where the heat index is 110 in the summer. But that's pretty much like you got 3 months out of the year where it's really hot.
Yep.
Then it kind of evens out, and you have beautiful spring. You have beautiful fall. You have a very mild winter where you might get a week of like actual winter feel where it's cold, and you're wishing that you had the summer back at that point.
Yeah.
But that's for like a week, and then you enjoy the rest of the time. You do more outdoor activities here
Yeah.
than anywhere in the north.
Yeah. And Florida's so cool because you can find really whatever you want. If you're the older retiree who's coming down that's lived in the Midwest or the Northeast or wherever for a long time and has dealt with the snow for a long time, you're like, I do not want winter at all.
Yep.
I don't even want the 2 weeks of winter or
Yeah.
the month of winter. South Florida will give that to you all day.
Yeah.
Right? You go pretty much from Tampa south, from that area, you're not really getting much of a winter at all.
But then you're extending the heat.
You get more heat. But what's cool is like Northeast Florida, where we live up here, is that we actually do get a little bit of a winter. I'd say February is a cold month here.
Yes.
That second half of January and February, I mean, we'll get in the 20s.
Yeah.
Some nights, and have it in days where the high is 38 or 35. But the cool part about it is it comes for 2 or 3 days. It's gone.
Yep.
It's 70 for a couple of days. And then the other cold front comes down from up north. We get it for a couple of days. So over the 6-week period of half of January and most of February, we get some cold days. And then we have days that it's 70, 75 degrees too.
And that's when you're planning in advance to heat up your pool, because it takes a couple days to heat up the
right.
pool.
Yep.
You get a little bit of everything during the winter.
Yep.
You get the spring, you get the winter, you get some summer days. You'll get 80 degrees.
Yeah.
I mean, when we first moved here, Christmas Day, it was like 79 degrees. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
So
it was just 3 years ago when it snowed down here, right? When Florida had all the snow,
yeah.
the panhandle the beaches were all covered in snow,
Yep.
which is wild. I mean, that hadn't happened since the 80s.
Yeah.
But so it just goes to show you, North Florida and South Florida's a big state. I think people forget that, right?
Yep.
You drive from where we are down to Miami, it's going to take you 6 hours.
Yep.
Of driving 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So it is a big state, and you can get a wide variety of weather.
But it just comes down to, what do you want less? Do you want to not deal with the winter? Or can you deal with a few months of it being hot and you're going to the beach, you're hanging in the pool to cool off? You can cool down, but I feel like that the winter, it's so hard to.
Yeah, I hate winter.
Yeah,
I hate winter. I hate the 6 weeks of winter that we get here.
Yeah.
That I was just talking about. I honestly, if I had my way, I'd be in, I'd be in board shorts and a tank top, sitting on the beach every single day.
Yep. If it was my choice, I would be flip flops, shorts, t-shirt every single
day. And
day.
I have plenty of family that comes down from Michigan to visit.
Yeah.
It's too hot.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
It's that initial heat. But then after you live here for a while, you are able to tolerate it more.
Yeah, it's the humidity.
They say
your
blood thins, but
yeah, but it's not too hot. Is it hot? Yes. Is it too hot? Absolutely not. It's the greatest place to live, in my opinion.
All right, number 8. What about hurricanes? How predominant are hurricanes in Florida? Well, Northeast Florida, they're basically non-existent.
Yeah, we get skirted.
Yeah,
we get skirted. They give us good waves for surfing, which is great. I love that. The other best part about it is, what do they say? Ain't no party like a hurricane party, baby. Like hurricane parties. If you've never been in Florida for a hurricane and a hurricane party with your neighbors, there is nothing better. It is one of the highlights. This year we haven't had a hurricane yet. I'm kind of bummed about it.
I know. Then there's nothing in sight even, because we have this weird El Nino thing. But hurricanes in Northeast Florida, not a major issue. You don't really get direct hits. Again, we've talked about this on other
So
episodes where it was last in the 60s that we actually had a direct hit
yeah,
in this area. The Gulf Coast, they get hit probably a little bit more often. South Florida gets hit once in a while, but it's not like, yeah,
it's not something you watch every year, you
no,
know, but it's not. I don't know. You're not like scared to death of it, I
no.
suppose.
So I think they make a bigger deal out of it on the news than what
Oh
you
yeah, they
actually.
love to blow it up. It's a
Yeah,
tropical storm, like it's the end of the
yeah,
world. You're like, that's an afternoon thunderstorm.
yeah. Well, I
You
mean,
know,
we've had since I've lived here, we've had 3 hurricanes come by here, and I've had much worse storms
yeah,
on a summer day than what I dealt
yeah,
with any of those.
yeah.
So,
But
yeah,
we do get hurricanes, but the nice part about Northeast Florida, which we have talked about before, is that it reflects. Northeast Florida, I would really consider probably what Daytona north, maybe
yeah,
St. Augustine, but
yeah,
like somewhere Palm Coast, Daytona area north. It reflects. Our insurance premiums reflect
yeah,
that it's not as bad here as it is in South
yeah,
Florida. South Florida insurance premiums a lot more along the Gulf Coast that have historically been hit more by hurricanes. Insurance costs a lot more here in Northeast Florida. We do get the benefit of the doubt
yeah,
that it's been that long. Maybe we're due,
yeah.
but we've been lucky so far.
All right. So, Florida, is it really tax friendly? Yes.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
yeah,
There's no state income tax.
yeah,
You live here, you pay your federal taxes, no state income tax, and then we're coming up on possible decrease in the property taxes, which will be awesome if that actually passes, because
yeah.
then that's even less tax. And
Might be a full elimination, right?
yeah,
Eventually,
eventually,
roll into it for primary residences, right?
yep,
So if you live here full time at your principal residence, then you're going to be able to take advantage of that the way they're trying to structure it. If it passes, there still will be property taxes for those of you who are going to snowbird, or you have a second home down here or an investment property down here. You're going to still pay the property taxes to cover the rest of us.
Florida takes care of their residents
Oh, big time.
100%,
Yeah.
and they were just ranked number 14 in the world as far as the economy here in Florida.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
14th best economy in the world for Florida, with no state income taxes and possibly eliminating property taxes
Yep.
for homeowners. So keep that in mind. So is it tax friendly? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
What's the best? Oh, let's go to number 6. What is the best area to live? Northeast Florida.
Is the best place to live?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we're going to vary quite a bit on this one, because I love living in Nocatee. I love the amenities. I love how we're 15 minutes away from the beach.
Yep.
A lot of other communities, you're going to have a much further drive to the beach. I mean, if you go a little bit south of here, then you're going to have to drive north. There's not a lot of roadways that take you directly to the beach, and
Yeah.
Nocatee is right along one of them.
Yeah.
So
Or beach accesses.
beach accesses, yes.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest downfall, I think, of St. Johns County.
Yeah.
Is that there's limited beach access. You got Michler's, and you got those places across A1A that you have to walk over, where you pay for the parking and stuff like that.
Yeah, down by Guana
Yeah.
Preserve and all
But
that.
outside of that, there's not really. It's not like Jack's Beach, where you have multiple access points.
Yeah,
to the
every
beach.
street.
Yeah,
Right?
every
street
street
is an access.
So, Nocatee for the overall, personally, Nocatee for the overall lifestyle, for the access to the amenities and the distance to the beach. But the distance to the beach is never going to beat like the Jack's Beach and stuff like
Well, yeah,
that.
actually living at the beach,
Yeah.
like sitting on it, yeah. I mean, Nocatee's nice. Me and Jason joke about this all the time, and Nocatee's not for me. I wouldn't live in Nocatee. I don't have the desire to do that. I don't like the planned unit development,
Yep.
whole thing, which is fine. Like everybody has their preference there. I do love living at the beach. I love I like being close to the beach. I like the freedom to not have an HOA, right? I don't have an HOA. I don't have the restrictions that come with that. I enjoy that.
But you still have the restrictions for the city, though.
Well,
So
what do you mean?
they have certain scenarios with like the install of a pool. You have to have you can only have a certain amount of deck
coverage and all that.
So you don't have the HOA restrictions, but you still have the restrictions for the city, which are a little bit tighter than what you find in other areas. So it's kind of a give and take at that point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the beach at this point is Jacksonville Beach specifically is pretty much built.
Yeah.
There's not much room left. If you're building something there, there's no more open space. You're buying an existing property and knocking it down if you want to
Yeah.
build a new house or whatever it is. So you're not buying a new construction, uh, a piece of land that has never been developed to
Right.
build a new house. There's very little of that
Yeah.
left in Jack's Beach.
But overall area, what's the best area to live in Florida?
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends on your scenario. If you have school age kids, then you're going to want to look at schools.
Yeah.
St. Johns County back up to #1 in the state for schools.
Yep.
So St. Johns County in general is going to be one of the better places for schools.
Yep.
I know Jack's Beach and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're
Jack's Beach Elementary School, which is a public school, is actually the #1 ranked elementary school in the entire state.
there you go.
Which is kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
That it's like that. But there's no right or wrong answer to this question. It really
It
does
just comes
come down to what you want.
Yeah, it comes down to your personal preference, what you're looking for. And that's where having someone that lives here, if you're out of state, don't guess on where you're going to live. Let someone that lives here, whether it's a realtor or even a mortgage guy that lives here,
Yeah.
they can discuss with you. I mean, they can give you insights as far as
Yeah.
what you're looking for, what the best match is.
Yeah, those are the fun conversations. That's when we
Yeah.
really get to know our clients, right?
Yeah.
When we get to talk to them about that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Well, what do you enjoy? What's important to you? What's not important to you?
Yep.
And that allows us to kind of lean into them and give them that advice on what we think is best and for them to look. Just to cap that question off, some of the funnest and most interesting transactions were when so many people during COVID, when rates were down and the migration was happening from the Northeast and all that. Man, how many clients did you and I have together that came down here? How many repeat clients have they become?
Yeah.
Because they bought a house
Sight
sight unseen
yeah.
or whatever. And then we're like, this isn't the area that we wanted to be in. We didn't know. We figured out, but this isn't it. Now that we've been here for a few years, we want to live over there.
But when that was going on, you had to be quick. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
There was like no houses available, so people were just buying because they needed to.
Oh, they were
find a
calling
place.
us just to say, I want to put an offer in on that house.
Yep.
We didn't show them anything.
Yep.
There was
I
none
didn't
of
get
that.
a chance to really discuss with them to find
No.
out exactly what they're looking for. They're just like, I want this house. I need to put in an offer.
Yeah.
Let's do it, and we would do it. But then they would turn into, well, now I kind of think I want to move over here.
Right.
So then,
So
sell their
it
house,
is
buy a new
worth it to take the time is what we're
Yes.
getting to figure it out and,
Yep.
and make sure you relay what's most important to you so that you can get some good advice on where to go. Cause it's very different sides of town.
Oh, for sure.
Around
every
here.
every
Very
area is very unique.
Yeah.
So getting to understand exactly what you want
Yeah.
is the key aspect to finding that.
Yeah.
So, and I'll let you take the lead on number 5 because you're going to be. This is a question I get questioned quite often, but how much money do I need to buy a home in Florida?
Yeah. Well, some.
Some is better than none.
We've hit on this in other episodes too, right?
Mhm.
We don't want to kill on this. Look, you have to have some money for a down payment. That's always the number one thing. The biggest misconception always is I need 20% down, right? And if you've been researching, if you've watched other videos because you're thinking about moving to Florida or buying a house in general, you've probably heard this topic discussed. I feel like it is discussed because it is important.
Yep.
You do not need 20% down.
Nope.
There are so many savings that are available to you and options for low down payments. As little as 3% down on a conventional loan. FHA loans require 3.5% down. There's even down payment assistance programs that are available if you need it, where you can get into a home with zero money down. So, the misconception that I need 20% down, how would I ever save $100,000 or $200,000 to put down on a house? That's ridiculous. You don't need it. And the math is also, obviously that's my area. It's one of my favorite things to do is have these conversations, with you buyers because, sometimes we actually end up talking clients into putting less money down and not just from the simple fact of let me show you the math. It's a 30-year note. This payment's not going anywhere, right? If you're getting a 30-year product. And the difference between, somebody will say, hey, what if I put down an extra $50,000? I go, well, you can put down an extra $50,000. It's going to change your mortgage payment by $150, or whatever. And it shocks them. It's like, that's such a big sum of money, but the payment doesn't make a huge difference.
Yep.
And so look, there's not a right or wrong answer. It's what fits you and what you want to do, but we never want to break a client's bank to say you need to spend every dollar that you've saved to buy a house.
Yeah.
You want to have an emergency fund, and you want to have some ability to do whatever upgrades you want to do. And there's options for that.
And
Right?
let's be honest, a lot of people will refinance their house eventually
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
especially with the rates are not exactly where people want them. So you get into the house for as little money as you possibly can, and then once you refinance, then you really focus in at that point on
Yep.
if rates come down to 4%,
Yep.
4.5%, then you focus in at that point, and then
Yeah.
that's your bread and
You
butter
know,
right
there's
there.
one thing I want to touch on this before we move on is that I get this question a lot, and it's amazing how many people don't know this. I don't know if just other LOs or brokers don't talk about it as much, but there's something out there that's called a recast. And so some people that
Oh
are
yeah,
thinking,
yeah.
hey, I'm going to move down to Florida, and my house up north or wherever may not sell before I need to buy the house in Florida. And so like, but I'm not, I'm going to sell that house. I'm going to make $150,000 in profit off that house. And I'd love to be able to put that towards the mortgage, but I got to buy the Florida house first.
Yep.
Well, you don't have to refinance, right? And spend, the 2.5% in closing costs that come with a full refinance. Let's say rates aren't even really better. If you're going to get the same rate, why would you pay all of that cost just to be able to put more money down on your house? So one thing that's available to you guys out there is what's called a recast. You can buy the house, put down as little as, the 5%, let's say. Your other house sells a month later or 2 months later, and you want to put that money down to take advantage of a lower payment without having to go through the cost of a refinance. Well, you drop the large principal payment, let's call it the $150,000. There's a small fee that's associated. It's from lender to lender. It's generally about $200 or so,
Which is next
$250.
to nothing compared to
That's it.
refinancing.
And what they do is they reduce your principal balance by the amount of money that you've put down, and then they recalculate the payment based on the remaining term that you have.
And I've had a
So,
couple people actually take advantage of that because they were waiting for their house to sell, but they
yeah.
didn't want to miss out on an opportunity on that. So
Yep. I had
that
one close yesterday that's doing that exact thing. It happens every deal with somebody that's going to do it every month. And the funny thing is that these people are doing it. They had no idea it existed until they called for the pre-approval to buy the new house. And we told them, hey, you're going to be able to do this. And they're more just thinking, hey, I'm going to have to throw that money at it, but it's not going to drop my payment as if I had put that money down in the first place.
right.
It's a really cool option.
Is it better to rent or buy when moving to Florida? All right, so that depends on who you're talking to, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Because if you're just moving down here on a whim, you're not talking to an agent before coming down here or anything, and they're not taking the time to get to know what exactly you're looking for, rent. Rent. Because you're not going to have, we're not back in the COVID times where houses are flying off the market. You got to be quick to actually buy, where we don't have any rentals, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So honestly, I would say rent when you first come down. If you don't have someone that you're working with, and you're just trying to get down here quick, rent until you figure out exactly where you want, not where you want to be. Now, I have plenty of clients that I work with out of state that are moving to the area, and this goes back to the other question, the best place to live in Florida. I take the time to actually get to know that person, exactly what they're looking for, everything about it. And I can pretty much narrow down where they want to be based on those conversations.
Yeah.
They don't even need to come down here if they don't want to at that point. I can narrow down to find what they're looking for at that point,
Yeah.
just based on those conversations.
The nice part about this question for Florida is that because it's Florida, we have an unlimited amount of short-term rentals.
Yeah.
So, in other places where if you're having the same conversation, it'd be hard to find a place you can go rent for 2 months
Right.
or 3 months
Yeah.
or 4 months, whatever the time may be. In Florida, you can pretty much find something that'll fit what you want to do. So if you're thinking we do want to buy something, but we want to be there for a little bit and not feel rushed, and you want to give yourself 3 months, you can find a place to rent for 3 months.
But at the same time, again, if you have someone that's actually looking out for you and understanding exactly what you're looking for, then there's no reason to rent.
Yeah.
You can find the right place. Our inventory is up way up compared to what it was during
Right.
the COVID times. So you can pretty much find a house where you want it to be,
Yeah.
as long as you.
It depends on your situation, right?
Yeah.
We get a lot of people also that get transferred here for work.
Yep.
And so if you're on a deadline, you got to be here in a month
Yep.
to start working here, and you're like, I don't want to live out of the hotel, or I want to make sure my family gets down there at the same time that I start work.
Yep.
It's just that there are the short-term rentals that are available in those situations, but also for buying, you can find something pretty quick. But it's just situation to situation. There's not a right or wrong answer to that question.
All right. So how much does it actually cost to own a home in Florida? Well, I think we've gone through this in a previous episode, but you've got your mortgage payment, principal and interest. You got your insurance, you got your HOA fees, which is the true monthly payment.
Yeah.
So
And your taxes.
Yep. But as far as, so you've got that is pretty much broken down. That's going to be no matter where you live in Florida. The utilities and stuff is not much different than outside of Florida. During the hot summer months, it might be a little bit higher because you got the AC running quite a bit. So
yeah, I don't think our utilities are crazy.
No,
I don't know. Mine's like $250 to $300 a month.
Yeah, mine's around the same.
Yeah,
I have mine is a little bit higher than that because of the pool.
Yeah,
I'm running that, but
yeah.
I mean, it's nothing crazy.
No.
So it pretty much, taxes are not crazy compared to other states. Insurance in Northeast Florida is not crazy compared to other states.
No.
So Northeast Florida here was very similar to when I was living in Michigan as far as how much it costs overall. The houses might be a little bit more expensive, but not that much.
Yeah, but it's it's a loaded question. How much does it cost to to own a home in Florida? But you're right.
It's a big question that we get quite often.
It is, yeah. and that again comes back to the conversation. But you're right. The variables, which are like the property taxes, the homeowner's insurance, HOA fees, whatever. That also depends on whether you're buying a condo or not. Condo fees can be expensive in Florida, so that matters. But you'll find it's not crazy more expensive to live here than it is anywhere else.
And actually, it's less expensive than a lot of other areas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I qualify for a mortgage before I have a job in Florida? A lot of questions on that because people that are moving from up north, they're like, I'm done with the winters. I want to move down there, but I have my job here. I'm planning on finding a job there. Can they? And this is a question for you. Can they qualify for a mortgage before finding a job down here?
So
if they still have their
full-time job, but they don't have a job in Florida yet. Yeah, the answer to that really is no, for the most part, for 99% of the answer to that question. Now, if you're wanting to make the move down here and you're in a certain field and you want to line that up, you can do that. You don't have to already have the job here. You have to have the job lined up. And what I mean by that is you have to have an offer letter, right? It's got to say, hey, look, I've applied for this job, it's been accepted, or I'm transferring within my company down there and I have a transfer letter that shows that I'm going down there. You can actually close on a house before you start a job here, but you have to have the job lined up. If I, am I explaining that?
Yep.
Well, so it's really that easy, right? So like if you're being transferred for work, if you can show us that you're being transferred, we get a letter from your employer. It says, hey, I don't know, what's the date today? The 4th. So if you're coming down here and you got to be here for work on October 1st, you can come now. Like we will accept that. Underwriting is allowed to accept that. The guidelines for mortgages accept that, and we can show that. So you have to have a job lined up. You can't say, I want to buy a house down there because I'm going to quit my job.
Yeah.
And I'll find one when I get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the basics of it. It's not that complicated.
Unless you're self-employed.
Correct.
So that's going to be a completely different story.
That is a different conversation.
But if you're a normal W-2 employee, then yes, you're going to want to have a job lined up before you try and buy a house.
Right. Yeah. If you're self-employed, you have questions, drop a comment. Let me know. I'll reach out to you and give you all the answers you want.
Because we've had quite a few self-employed people that we've worked with that have moved from other areas down here.
Yeah.
And while they didn't have the business set up yet down here, or they weren't fully done, we were still able to make some stuff work.
Yeah. So that boils down to what you do.
Yeah.
What business you own.
Yep.
So.
And the last question, and this is the most important one, Adam.
Yeah.
Is moving to Florida really worth it?
So for all of our Florida people that already live here and are watching this episode,
drop a comment and
they'd be mad. No, Florida's full. Don't come here. That's what everybody would say. So the locals, everybody's like, Florida's full. Don't move here. We don't want any more people. Look,
it
hell
is
yes.
Absolutely.
Hell yes. This is the greatest place.
I will 100% agree. I will never move anywhere else. I absolutely love Florida. happy to be out of the snow, happy to have access. The biggest thing down here is that you're so close to so many great things.
Yeah.
I mean, living in Northeast Florida, you're close to the beach.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go to that beach, you're close to another beach. If you don't want to do that and you want to spend a weekend out in Tampa or out in Pensacola or anything like that, it's a quick drive out there. It's not like you're driving 18 hours from somewhere else to go.
You can be in the mountains in 5.5 hours.
Yeah. So you can go to Savannah in 3 hours.
2.5. Yeah.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
You can be down Daytona. You can be down New Smyrna. You can be anywhere.
You can be in Disney World.
You can be in Disney World in 2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah.
So, yes, it is. I'm going to steal it. It's one of the most magical places on earth just because of the amount of stuff that you can do. And if you're a golfer.
Oh, yeah. It's paradise.
Living in Michigan, I would golf for 3, maybe 4 months. You can golf all year round down here.
Yeah.
No problems.
Yeah.
Just the activities that you can do, the access to everything, the temperatures, everything about Florida is 100% worth it. So yes, moving to Florida, in my opinion, is 100% worth it.
Yeah. Is it for everybody? I guess not. There's people that won't agree with us.
But those of you that feel like it's too hot,
yeah.
Basically, I always say give it a year.
Yeah.
And you'll see. We had friends down here that were down here for, I think, 7 days. When they first got here, the first couple days, they were like, oh my gosh, it's so hot. How do you deal with this?
Yep.
By the 5th, 6th, 7th day, they didn't want to go back.
Yeah.
They were completely fine with it. They were enjoying their time. They absolutely loved it. And now then they went back to Michigan and they dealt with the smoke from the wildfires and everything going on up there. So shout out to Chrissy, Braden, and Avery, and wish you guys were still down here.
I was just up there 2 weeks ago dealing with it with the smoke. I was in northern Michigan. We have a cottage up there, and the wildfire smoke was awful. Luckily, we only had it for like 2.5 days, and it cleared out because the winds shifted.
Yeah,
but that was miserable.
But it was really bad the one day where it was like they only read it up to like 450 as far as the scale.
Yeah, how bad
it was like
the air quality,
and it was 783 in areas. It was awful.
Yeah.
But I mean that can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
But
and look, I love Michigan too. Like Michigan summers.
Summers are amazing.
Michigan for 3 months out of the year cannot be beat.
Yep.
The other 9 months,
you
good.
never know what you're going to get. You could have snow in September.
Oh yeah. Or May. So yeah.
But yeah, so that's our list. Again, the number one is moving to Florida. Really worth it. 100%, in my opinion. Yes, you will not be disappointed with anything about Florida.
Yeah. All right, let's cap this off. We talked longer than I thought we were going to talk.
We thought.
Remember we said it'd be short?
Yeah.
It never is.
All right, so the minus 196. Mine is gone.
Mine's pretty much gone.
Mine was gone for a few minutes here now.
It's really good.
It's really good.
Really good.
And this is the first time I've had this flavor. I really like all of them. This one, having only 85 calories, 0 sugar. It's a great, like, mow the lawn, have a drink type of thing. You're not going crazy or anything like that.
It's kind of like a summer shandy, but it's a seltzer.
Yeah.
So it's even lighter.
Yep.
But it has that flavor. It's fantastic. That's 100% a buy in my book.
So my rating on that is an easy 9.2.
Yeah. I'll give it a 9.1 just to be a thorn.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic.
It's really good. So if you are in ABC, these exact ones are buy one, get one free, $9.99. Buy one, get one free. Try it out.
Yeah.
If you tried it, drop a comment. Let us know how you like it. But I absolutely loved it. Yeah. But for now, we'll have another episode here soon. And hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry it took a little bit longer than expected.
Any other questions, drop them in the comments. Let us know. Happy to answer them. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yep.